Hi and welcome to Coda Piano. My name is Mark Deeks and I'm going to be giving you a bit of very basic information about things called time signatures. Time signatures are the two numbers that you see at the start of a piece of music, and they tell you two very important pieces of information. We're not going to get too bogged down in the complications of it now. We're going to just start with the most common and the most popular time signature that you will come across, which is where you see two number fours above each other, like a fraction at the start of a piece of music. However, one very important distinction between that and a fraction is they don't have a little line between the two numbers. So if ever you need to write down a time signature, make sure you don't have a line in between the two numbers separating them, just the two numbers above each other. The top number in the time signature is by far the most easy one to understand. What that tells us is how many beats every bar in this piece of music has. So you'll notice that music is divided into what we call bars, and you'll see the little bar lines that divide the music into little sections at regular intervals. Well, the way we know how many beats are in each bar before we start is by looking at the top number of the time signature. That tells us how many beats per bar. That's the most succinct way to say it. If anyone says, what does the top number in a time signature mean? The answer is how many beats per bar that we have in that piece of music. So that's pretty straightforward. If the top number says 4, we have 4 beats per bar. If the top number says 3, we have 3 beats per bar. The bottom number is a little bit more confusing. And what I always tell my students is a daft sentence, which is to say to yourself, the bottom number is not a number. The bottom number isn't a number. It doesn't mean a number of anything. It's in fact a code. I've heard loads of amusing explanations of what students think the bottom number in time signatures mean, and they give me numbers of everything. It's not a number of anything, it's a code, it's a shorthand. It's instead of having to write a word. The bottom number tells us what kind of beats they are. So the top number's told us how many, the bottom number tells us what kind of beats they are. If the bottom number is a 4, that means the word crotchets. If you watch the previous lesson on beginner note lengths, you'll have heard this word crotchet. A crotchet is a 1-beat note. So if the bottom number is a 4, it means that the beats in these bars are crotchets. It doesn't mean that there are 4 of them. The only time it means there are 4 of them is if the top number is a 4 as well, because remember, the top number tells us how many beats we've got. So 4, 4 means 4 crotchet beats in a bar. That's the way you should always structure your answer. Say what the top number is first, say what the bottom number means, then say in a bar. 4 beats, 4 crotchet beats in a bar. So if it was 3, 4, this would mean 3 crotchet beats in a bar. Okay, I think you'll find that most pieces of music you begin with have 4 crotchet beats in a bar, but in case you come up against any other ones, that's your first beginner lesson on how time signatures work. Thanks for watching Coda Piano. We'll see you soon.